Friends, welcome to this presentation, a different one. This is one on killer instinct, and I'm Ajoy Basu bringing this to you. Not infrequently, more so at the time of finalizing interview results, we discuss about whether the candidate has the so-called killer instinct. A term which tended to be popularly used in sport sometime is pretty commonly used in the jargons of candidate competencies in the business world today. The first impression you get when you talk about killer instinct is that you're talking of something brutal and savage. That is in the ordinary sense. When we contextualize it to the corporate world, we are talking about whether the candidate is opportunistic, whether he's opportunistic enough in that whether he or she has the alacrity, the swiftness to spot and exploit an opportunity. Further, whether the candidate has the ruthlessness, that is being in a sense heartless and almost merciless in carrying out the assignment, that pronounced indifference, oblivious to how it hurts and can cause collateral damage to others. During the discussions, the panelists are also wary of such a personality, with the killer instinct being overly aggressive and to that extent the candidate being irrational and fiercely adventurous. That danger can always be there. There is a viewpoint advanced that in the mid and lower levels of management you need people who are largely conformists, although the rebellious streak may occasionally manifest. Is the option between someone who is too nice and by that argument being a softie, albeit knowledgeable and intelligent, and on the other hand someone who is also knowledgeable and intelligent but would not bat an eyelid if he has to advance with daggers drawn. We come to the next slide. Now let me put forward my take on this. Many successful leaders I have seen tend to be strategically and tactically ruthless, but their visible conduct almost betrays that. They are balanced and communicable, and only occasionally would the temperamental poise give in to sparks of expressed aggression. So the aggression is in the method, not the visible behavior in such people, although they have a short fuse when their efficiency is compromised. But that is not so frequent. The good ones are process-oriented and believe in employee training so that the opportunities to blow the fuse are limited. The good killer instinct guys are indeed short-tempered, and if the trait is too marked, I ask the management to compliment the top guy with a very competent, rational and ice-cool COO or the CFO so that that balance can be achieved. At the very top, let us admit, you live in a world where the ecosystem is challenging and threatening, with some players employing unacceptable methods. One needs to be strategically and intelligently opportunistic to sense, exploit and venture out of the box, occasionally standing, I should say, at the edge of the box. Some risk-taking propensity sometimes is quite palpable. So all other qualities being in place, I would want that streak of killer instinct in the apex functionary, who is made conscious of it and recognizes the limits specific to that organizational culture. And yes, a temperamentally well-composed team of top functionaries will ensure that the balance is in place. In the earlier 4 capsules of the interview series, I had not specifically dwelt on this aspect of the killer instinct. Later, when I reflected, I felt that it deserves a place in the overall story. Earlier, I used to feel that this killer instinct is a congenital trait you are born with. But I have seen some very empathetic, refined, gentle functionaries exhibiting that no-nonsense, shrewd, sometimes even crafty and ruthless attitude that belies their inherent gentle nature and disposition. My neuro-expert friends say that you can train your brain and you can cultivate that streak within. Of course, there are some who believe that the journey is one of in pursuit of excellence. Why should we cultivate a nature that is one of a militant and an opportunist? But the question is, can such a person without enough of the killer instinct be successful at the top job? I'll leave that to you.